For over a decade, Tesla was untouchable. The cool car. The future car. The car that made every other automaker look like they were stuck in the past. Elon Musk was on magazine covers, Tesla was on every tech enthusiast's wishlist, and the stock just kept climbing. But behind that image, something was quietly unraveling. Recalls stacking up. A self-driving system under criminal investigation. A brand losing billions of dollars in value. And sales falling off a cliff in ways the company had never seen before. This is the story Tesla's marketing team would rather you didn't watch. Let's start with a number that doesn't get enough attention. In 2024, Tesla became the most recalled car brand in the United States. According to data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, approximately 5.1 million Tesla vehicles were recalled in a single year. 15 separate recalls across 5 different models, covering everything from seatbelt failures and steering assist problems to airbags that tear on deployment and hoods that pop open without warning. To be fair, Tesla handles many of its recalls through over-the-air software updates, a fix pushed wirelessly to the car without the owner needing to visit a service center. And regulators classify those as recalls even when no physical repair is required. That's an important distinction. But it doesn't erase the core problem, which is that a company charging premium prices for premium vehicles keeps discovering, after delivery, that critical systems don't work correctly. The Cybertruck tells this story most clearly. Launched in late 2023 after years of delays and hype, it had accumulated 8 recalls by early 2025, in its first year on sale. Not minor software tweaks. Real issues. A stainless steel exterior trim panel that could detach from the vehicle at highway speed, threatening other drivers. An accelerator pedal that could become trapped, causing unintended acceleration. A rear view camera that failed to display an image while reversing. US sales of the Cybertruck reached under 40,000 units in 2024, a fraction of the 250,000 per year Elon Musk had once projected. Across all Tesla models, owner complaints filed with NHTSA cover structural failures, electrical malfunctions, and persistent software glitches. The company's overall reliability score from independent tracking databases sits at 52 out of 100, described as mixed. For a brand that built its identity around being the most advanced vehicle on the road, that's a number that should trouble anyone considering a purchase. Now here's the part of this story that gets genuinely alarming. Tesla has been selling a product called Full Self-Driving, or FSD, since 2016. It currently costs $8,000 as an add-on. 4 years, Elon Musk told customers, investors, and the public that true autonomous driving was right around the corner. That FSD would eventually be able to drive better than a human. That it was the future. Regulators have a different view. In October 2024, NHTSA, the Federal Safety Authority, opened an investigation into 2.4 million Tesla vehicles equipped with FSD, after identifying crashes in conditions of reduced visibility. Fog, sun glare, airborne dust. Conditions that any human driver navigates as a matter of routine. In one of those crashes, a FSD-enabled Tesla fatally struck a pedestrian. By October 2025, NHTSA had opened a separate investigation into 2.88 million vehicles, this time over more than 50 reported traffic safety violations caused by FSD itself. The system had been documented driving through red lights, entering opposing lanes of traffic, attempting to turn onto roads in the wrong direction despite visible wrong-way signs. In total, 14 crashes and 23 injuries were tied to those incidents. Then in early 2026, NHTSA escalated its visibility investigation to what regulators call an engineering analysis, the final formal step before a recall can be demanded. The agency found that FSD's system for detecting when its cameras are impaired simply failed. It did not warn drivers when the cameras were blinded. In 9 identified crashes, the system either failed to detect the problem or only issued an alert seconds before impact. Here's the detail that cuts the deepest. A fatal FSD crash occurred on November 28, 2023. Tesla submitted its required crash report to regulators 7 months later, on June 27, 2024. The very next day, Tesla began developing a fix for the exact problem that caused the crash. NHTSA's own assessment concluded that even Tesla's updated system would only have affected 3 of the 9 crashes it reviewed, meaning the fix wouldn't have helped in the majority of cases. That is not the portrait of a company ahead of the curve on safety. That is a company scrambling to contain a problem it knew about and was slow to disclose. But the deepest wound Tesla has suffered isn't technical. It's reputational. And it has a name attached to it. At first, that looked like a blip. It wasn't. In the first quarter of 2025, Tesla reported the largest quarterly sales drop in its history. Deliveries fell 13% compared to the same period the previous year, 50,000 fewer vehicles. Analysts had expected a dip. Nobody expected it to be that steep. The results were the company's worst in nearly 3 years. In Europe, the numbers were even more brutal. Tesla's European sales fell 49% in April 2025, year-on-year, at the same time that overall electric vehicle sales across Europe rose 34%. Tesla wasn't losing because the EV market was shrinking. It was losing while the market grew around it. By the end of 2025, Tesla had delivered 1.64 million vehicles for the year, down 9% from 2024. For the first time in its history, Tesla lost the title of world's largest electric vehicle maker. Chinese automaker BYD sold 2.26 million vehicles, overtaking Tesla decisively. And then there's the brand value. According to Brand Finance, Tesla's brand lost $15.4 billion in value in 2025 alone, a 36% collapse in a single year. Its brand value fell from $43 billion to $27.6 billion. That's the 3rd straight year of decline for a company that was once considered one of the most powerful brands in the world. A February 2025 poll by Morning Consult found that nearly 32% of American car buyers said they would not consider purchasing a Tesla, up from 17% just 4 years earlier. The root of much of this is Elon Musk himself. His political activities, his role in the Trump administration, his endorsement of far-right parties in Europe, his increasingly polarizing public persona, have alienated a significant portion of the customers most likely to buy an electric vehicle. Wedbush securities analyst Dan Ives, one of Tesla's most prominent supporters on Wall Street, called it plainly a brand tornado crisis. Tesla's stock, which had nearly doubled after the US presidential election on hopes that Musk's proximity to power would help the company, had lost 44% of its value by early 2025. Here's where the story gets interesting. Because Tesla's leadership has a response to all of this, and it isn't denial. Elon Musk has openly said that falling car sales don't concern him the way they once did. Because in his telling, Tesla's future isn't really about selling cars anymore. It's about robot access. It's about humanoid robots for homes and factories. It's about energy storage, a division that grew 44% in a single quarter in 2025. The car business, in his framing, is just a platform for something bigger. Maybe that's visionary. Or maybe it's a CEO explaining away problems his own decisions created. Tesla built something genuinely remarkable. It dragged the entire global auto industry toward electrification. It made EVs desirable when most of the world still dismissed them. That legacy is real and it matters. But the hidden story, the recalls stacking up, the self-driving system under federal investigation, the brand losing billions while Chinese competitors surge past, that story is also real. And it matters just as much. The question Tesla now has to answer isn't whether it can build an impressive car. It already proved that. The question is whether a company can survive when its biggest asset and its biggest liability are the same person. Stay curious. We'll see you in the next one. If this gave you a different perspective on Tesla, hit the like button. It genuinely helps us keep making content like this.